everybody's here.
Yep, go for
it. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me get the cheat sheet. Cheat sheet says to take the roll call. Can you take that, Sherry?
Yep, Chair Aiken.
Here.
Commissioners Convery.
Here.
Commissioner James.
Here.
Commissioner McCatton.
Here.
One vacancy, Vice Chair Quinn.
Yes.
Vacancy.
So do you have a flag there, or do we use mine over my right shoulder?
Either one.
There we go, James. Perfect. Okay, if you could stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin. I pledge
allegiance to the flag
of the
United States of America
and to
the republic
for
which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible,
with
liberty and justice for all.
Yep. Having watched that done in my twin 8-year-olds Zoom class when we're on vacation with them, it's even more interesting with 25 kids. Okay, so let's see, public communications. Public communications submitted by email will be provided to the Historic Preservation Commission at this time. Matters raised at this time may be briefly discussed by the commission and will generally be referred to and are placed on the subsequent agenda. Under state law, other than for emergency items, no action can be taken at this meeting. Okay. Do we have any public comment on anything, Sherry?
No.
Okay. Okay, so I have a couple of things that I want to just go through real quick before we get to our item number one. First of all, for the record, I want to thank Thais Quinn. Thais was on our commission from March 22nd, 2016 to November 16th, 2020. 4 2/3 year, was the vice chair for a couple of those years, and we all really miss Thais. Mm-hmm. Very much so. She came with, of course, a lot of experience, both in having landmarks of her own, as well as what she did as a part of her and Rob's careers. Number two is that you'll enjoy this. And Lucas, a week ago Monday, I was sitting at 4:53 in the afternoon in the parking lot of the In-N-Out in Goleta, because our grandson was at our doctor's appointment. That's how he gets rewarded. And in the craziness of an In-N-Out, where you can't go inside, but you can park and eat in the area. And Lucas called me and said, okay, we're going to do the Historic Preservation Commission Awards next Tuesday. And I laughed. And thanks to Sherry, who's on with us, and Cheryl and Lucas, last Thursday, we did the Zoom recording of the HPC Presentation Awards with Darwin, with Perry, with Pat Clark Dorner, and with Don and his daughter, Sheila Clough. And those were presented, excuse me, at the City Council Tuesday night, and they show up in the broadcast at about the 6-minute mark. And big thanks again to Lucas and everyone there for making that happen. I thought it turned out pretty well. It was a little hectic like these always are, but well received. I have since, let's see, hang on just a second.
I'll continue with that. In terms of the Tuesday night city council meeting, it was great to see everybody represented, and it really was a team effort. Commissioner Convery, I believe you even were able to provide us with some phone numbers so we could reach out to some of these individuals. So it really was a team effort, not only from staff standpoint, but from the commission standpoint. So it was great to see that come together in such a short amount of time.
Yep, presented in under 72 hours. This is the award for Darwin McCready. I still have his because he hasn't returned my phone call. But everybody else has been taken and either handed them to them directly because Pat pulled up the same time I pulled in front of the house, or left at the gate, or we tracked down Perry and left it at his doorstep, and then he knocked and he came out and got it. So lovely plaque. Thank you, Sherry, for getting this together.
Yeah, that's in a box. It has a wood frame, not the white box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried to keep them in the cases to avoid touching.
They're in mint condition right now, so yes.
They are. Number 3 is at the council meeting Tuesday night, they went over commissioner attendance for all of the commission, and they were very appreciative of the fabulous attendance through everything COVID this last year by all of the commissioners. So, and Randy spoke up and was, again, he's been a commissioner before, I think, with Parks and Rec, and was very appreciative. And so I wanted to pass that along. Number 4 is we have one item on business. I just wanted to know if anyone had gone and visited the site. I did this afternoon. Any other site visits?
I've just walked by, but no, not really visited.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. Okay. So those are the 4 things I had real quick. So consent item number 1 is the minutes. Or did anyone see any changes we need to make to the minutes?
I didn't see anything.
No.
No? Okay, I didn't either. Could we get a motion then to approve them?
Yeah, I make a motion we approve the minutes.
Okay.
And I'll second that.
Okay, and Gina, and so I think according to Zoom watching, we have to do a roll call vote on everything because we're on Zoom.
Okay.
So Sherry, if you could take the roll call on that, please.
Akins,
Yes.
Convery,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
McHatton.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Sherry. Okay, public hearing item. We'll turn the time over to Lucas to give us a staff report on that, please.
Yes, thank you, Chair Akins. Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Lucas Seibert, Community Development Manager here with the City of Ojai. The item you have before you tonight for consideration is the Gunai's Shop exterior facade paint changes. The business owner is Gunai Uger, and the Gunai's Shop is the location where the Human Arts, kind of the furniture store was at previously. For consideration tonight is a minor work permit, which was applied for to refresh the exterior appearance of the storefront by painting the exterior trim of the windows. The exterior dark purple that's there currently will be painted to a deep wine color. That information is provided with in the packet in terms of paint chip samples and color numbers. Also, the exterior mint green area, kind of towards the bottom of the facade of the building, around and between the trim, will be painted to a shell white to match the muted tones of the arcade. The minor work permit, now that's typically handled through my hands. However, I've referred it to the Historic Preservation Commission for consideration, given the centralized location of this business, really within the historic Ojai Arcade. Given the context of what we're looking at here, it seems fitting for the Historic Preservation Commission to weigh in on this. With that, staff, myself, I recommend approval of this proposal based on the findings and subject to the conditions provided within the Historic Preservation Commission resolution for consideration tonight.
I have a question.
Yes.
If this, I mean, I'll approve this, but in the future, can we see paint chips of the colors that people are choosing? Because sometimes wine color can be like a super bright burgundy, it's hard to tell. And shell white, like our approved color for the arcade is Navajo white, just little things, but it's nice to see a paint chip,
Yeah, the paint chips were provided within the packet itself.
Maybe it's my copy, I can't see.
They're hard to see.
It just looks black.
Yeah.
Anytime, so there's 2 pieces to that. Obviously, when we're physically together, those paint chips would be handed out and we get a chance to kind of see that. Here, it is provided as an attachment, but in addition to that, those numbers are provided there as well. So it gives each of you commissioners an opportunity to look that number up.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So
Otherwise.
yeah, because this is basically black. That's like the deep line
Yeah.
color,
Yep.
right? Okay.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
All right.
It's not
Maybe
gonna
that's fine.
copy. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's true. Absolutely.
Because I think in the past we've seen the colors. Maybe it's this particular copy machine or something, because the colors have come through with signs and things. So just FYI.
I agree. It doesn't necessarily. Anytime that you're copying a copier, whether it's black or white or in color, won't necessarily copy the same way from copier to copier. So yeah.
I believe the numbers are included in the staff report, and you can look them up online too.
Thanks.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
Thanks.
Let's see. So when I went by there this afternoon and looked at them, I called Lucas. I said, it looks like they started a paint job and finished it right in the middle, and it looks just kind of like wasteland at the moment. And he said, yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, in terms of background, I know it was provided in the agenda report, but this came up on our radar when they were halfway through painting. We issued a stop work order. And then advised them that they needed to submit for this minor work permit. They delayed it, and then we issued citations. The first one was with the stop work order because they literally had started painting and they were super sloppy with it. So it was an issue of ensuring that they knew that we expect the highest quality and craftsmanship with something like this, given that this is a historic structure. So 2 citations have been issued for them. The second citation is what triggered them to submit the application at that point. So,
yeah, it originally started in September. The good thing was, from their standpoint, the business is as open as you can be under COVID. The other question that I brought up because as I was standing there and looked up and said, we haven't seen anything on the sign yet. So I guess that's to come to us later, Lucas?
that will be under separate. Yeah, typically you would like to see both of these in the same application moving forward, but it'll be separate.
Again, their sign contractor called, and he's still working on the application. Nothing's been submitted.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sherry. Yes, Cindy, your mic's off.
Muted.
Thank you.
Just from curiosity, what's the application fee for a sign in the arcade? Do you happen to know offhand? I'm just curious.
$25 or $225, excuse me.
Oh,
Yeah,
'cause
$225.
business owner had thought that it was much higher and asked
Actually,
if I knew
I
what
think for
it
the
was, and
arcade
I-
it might be $450. I'd have to look at the master fee schedule. I think it's $450.
Oh, okay.
But it-
Yeah, no, they were like
Most
somewhere
sign permits
north
are
of
arcade.
$1,000, which seemed crazy. So.
Mm.
Okay, thanks.
Great, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, does anyone would someone make a motion then, please?
I'd like to make a motion to accept this as the staff finds it the same.
Great, thank you, Valerie.
I second.
Okay, Cindy seconds. Sherry, can you take the roll call for us, please?
Yes, Akins,
Yes.
Convery,
Yes.
James,
Yes,
McHatton.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Great. Thank you all. Okay, moving along to item number 3, Commissioner McHatton. An update for us, please.
So we have an upcoming meeting on the 25th. We were down for the last couple of months for the holidays, and we plan on hitting the ground running starting on, I think it says 4th, was it the Monday that, I'm going to open my calendar. It is Monday the 25th is our next meeting. And hopefully we're going to really put into high gear because it's our 100th anniversary this year, and we have high hopes of being able to do this very cost effectively and quickly. So we'll see what happens, see what we come up with. I look forward to bringing it to you at a later date.
Great. Thank you, Gina. And that is Craig's involved in that ad hoc committee. If you look at page 1 of 2, it still has Cindy's name on there. And so she's not on there anymore because we can't have 3. Great. So yeah, we're getting information, some information coming in from San Luis Obispo that Craig found, other information that Gina has found that we're going through. Any questions on item number 3? Okay. The one thing I did forget, okay, future, I'll do it under commissioner comments. Future agenda items. I guess my question on future agenda items, a couple things were, do you think joint sessions with the council will ever come back, Lucas?
That is an interesting question, isn't it?
Yeah, I just wondered if you talked about it.
Yeah, no, we have been having discussions off and on about joint meetings with the commissions, once again with city council. At this point, it's somewhat up in the air given the constraints that we have with COVID. There seems to be a better sense when those commissions are having that face-to-face conversation with council versus in a virtual format. So we're trying to figure out what's the best approach moving forward. So we're currently looking at the schedules. I know even Planning Commission has been missing those joint meetings and has been asking the same questions. So we are evaluating it and trying to figure out our best foot forward.
Gina, yes.
Yeah, at some point, I would like to have the option of either having a joint council meeting or being put on the agenda for a presentation once we do get this all together. So just kind of keep that in the back of your head that within a few months, we might be asking for that.
Okay.
That's on the Downtown Historic District?
Yes.
Okay, excellent idea. Okay. One other thing that I'm minding, somebody asked me about this. 610 Tico Road. Have you received plans on that?
610 Tico?
Is that that's the change to the landmark property?
Yes, that's 410 Tico.
Oh, 410, sorry.
And we've issued a utility trenching permit. We've issued the permit for the studio, the detached studio, and plans have been submitted for the main residence are still in plan check.
And it has, are these things, have they gone through the planning commission?
They are not required to go through planning commission
Yeah,
for single story.
It's not required to go to planning commission. Had it been the original proposal, which was a 2-story, yes, it would have been required to go to planning commission. But when they revised it and came back with a single story, that's where planning commission was no longer required per code.
Okay, great. So they are progressing. They have plans in and they have approved plans in, but we don't know if they've started construction yet.
No, they have not been issued a permit yet. They're in plan check and they'll likely get corrections back. And once corrections are established, then the permit will be close to ready for issuance.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Who does all that technical stuff?
Our building division.
Yep.
And our structural reviewers.
Is that you?
Our Charles Abbott and Associates.
No, yeah, Charles Abbott and Associates handles all of our building code related components.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. Okay, so we won't see that in planning going forward, and planning commission will never see that.
Nope.
Okay.
Unless we see revisions that bring a 2-story proposal forward. So.
That won't happen.
Okay, 410 T code check. Other future agenda items that people might have? Okay, just so one thing that I forgot to do at the beginning was the museum update. I talked to Wendy Barker. The museum, like everybody else, is trying to been doing a couple things different. With COVID coming on and having an exhibit up with the Ojai studio artist, the museum went with an online exhibit, which is really nice when we want people to see the paintings that the Ojai studio artists have are presenting. And fortunately, that exhibit was put up when we could actually physically put those in the museum and online, and that so it's made available to anybody that wants to watch that. Also, people can purchase the artwork online, and people have been purchasing that artwork, so it's turned out really nice. Has come down. The people are coming and picking up their paintings. The next exhibit is called Ojai and Master Photographers, and it will open online in February. Until it opens, we will have the Ojai studio artists still up online. And again, it will open in person when we can, and who knows when that will be. So again, and that is the work of several of our master photographers that have been in the Valley since the Valley's been around. So we're looking forward to seeing that. The only other thing that I had was essentially comes down to staffing, and I've talked with Lucas about this. Our terms were technically up in May 19th, let me flip the page. May 19th, 2020, where three of us, Cindy, Valerie, and myself, are still continuing on because it basically says if we don't get you replaced and you want to stay there, you'll stay there until we do. The issue we've also had is with Thais leaving, we're now down to 4 individuals. We're also down to not having a vice chair, and we can't vote for a vice chair because Gina's the boss when it comes to voting. So she's the only one that's still within her term, if I understand correctly. So we're pretty much waiting for the city and the council to have that take place. Again, they're on an appointment. So members of the council will do the appointment. I know the first 3 were Souza, then the mayor, and then I think Ryan Blatz was number 3. Now there's 4 that need to be put in with Thais leaving, and I've asked, but we're not sure who that 4th person is. We do have an individual that had approached me several months ago, and when Thais left and it was made public, I called that individual, and she has put in an application to be considered for the vacancy. So we do have someone out there. So,
Brian, I also know somebody who wants to apply. She was born and raised in Ojai, and she's 30, which is nice because it's nice to have somebody younger. She wants to be involved in the city and in preservation, so she'll be applying as well.
Okay, and she should call Gail Davis and go through what Gail needs her to do. But thank you very much. Nice to have some people who are interested in what we're doing. And yeah. I don't know how the selection takes place with the council members. We'll wait and find out.
Yeah, it's a wait and see. I anticipate that we'll be seeing this on the agenda in the coming future as soon as February. So expect that.
Okay, great. Anything else anybody has that we need to bring up? Yes, Gina.
I just I noticed that on the Ojai Unified School District last night there was a presentation for the landmark building, and I just want to make sure that we are kept in the loop on that if you hear anything that we should know. And I know that at least the picture of the plans, there was a lot of changes going on, especially with that Maynard, the back building, the place to grow. So I just would like to kind of have us in a loop there if we can.
Okay, so I signed up years ago when we started all this to get their updates, and I do get those updates regularly. I just have gotten lax in going through and looking at the pages, so I missed that presentation, but I'm sure it's recorded, and I'll take a look at that because, yeah, that's important. Thank you.
I also meant if it came through the city, I would like us to be in the loop there as well.
Gina, do you know who did the presentation? What company?
No, I have it on my list to go back and watch it this evening. I had a couple of items I need to go back and watch with Ojai Unified,
Yeah,
but I haven't looked at it yet.
I can just tell you the group is referred to as the playground. The playground.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
So that's the group that's been working on a proposal, and it did go to the school board last night. There has been discussions of them submitting something, but nothing has been submitted at this point.
Okay.
So
I just want to be,
absolutely, I will definitely keep this commission in the loop in terms of a process moving forward when we actually get something official from them in terms
Thank
of
you.
identifying their process.
Yeah, so I know them. When they first came to Ojai, I met them. They're the people down in San Diego, and the ones that the school district has worked through over this time. But yeah, it would be nice to get a heads up.
Absolutely.
We'll see what we can do on that. But Lucas, did they advise the city of that presentation last night?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good.
Yeah, I was made aware of it. Their representative had reached out to me and had told me about it. So I listened in last night? Sorry, the days are Tuesday, Wednesday, and tonight. Yeah, meetings. So it was last night. Yeah.
So can you just briefly describe what they were sharing last night?
What they presented last night includes commercial, recreational, and a hotel on that site as well as residential tucked in the back, meaning to the north of that site as well. That was what was presented last night. And that residential is really multifamily in nature, meaning that they'll have some component of affordability, affordable housing wrapped into that as well.
And so was the hotel portion using that front left corner that we've landmarked? Or was it on another portion of the lot?
It's more centralized on the site.
Okay. Cindy, did you see did you go to the presentation that they had there at the Nordhoff School in the cafeteria?
Yeah, I've seen their presentations over the years. I think they've done a few. I feel like they were around 4 years ago, maybe. They've been around trying.
There was a proposal that came before City Council almost 2 years ago, I want to say.
Yeah, and I think before that, I don't know, who knows? They're very diligent.
Yeah.
Anyway, as that gets closer, or even as it's submitted, I'll certainly bring any updates to this commission in terms of a process moving forward.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If they're spending so much money on these presentations and then they're way off base as far as the landmark situation, which is probably the case, it's a favor to them to get that input right away so they don't keep going down the wrong road.
Yeah.
Okay. I know their number. Okay. No, good to know. Thank you, Gina, for bringing that up. Thank you, Lucas, for the background.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else? Nope. Okay. 5:30. Good stuff. Okay.
Well,
and Lucas, yes.
Can I just close with a couple comments?
Of course. Sorry.
I know you said this at the beginning, but I wanted to reinforce it on my end here, that I wanted to thank everybody that took part in the annual Historic Preservation Awards that were part of that presentation on Tuesday night. There was a lot of work in the background that took place for that to run as smoothly as it did, and this is somewhat historic in terms of how it took place, because it was a pre-recorded presentation versus the ones that had taken place up until this point, which were in person, live, and in color, right? So it was still in color, but it just wasn't live, as it could be, given the circumstances that we're in currently. So I wanted to give a shout out to everybody that helped out on staff with CDD, and especially with Chair Akins and with Commissioner Combrey. Both of you helped out in terms of getting those numbers immediately as soon as I was off the phone. I mean, Chair Akins, you were in line at In-N-Out, and you started making calls immediately so that we had the time necessary to see this through, and to see it through smoothly. So I thought it was a testament to how quickly and diligently we can work as a team. So wanted to give a shout out there.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, it was amazing. Seriously.
It really did come together quite quickly.
As Cindy knows, because I was on the phone with Cindy, getting updates and getting information. I think we found a bit of just how small the Ojai Valley is when you need to reach out and get a hold of good people. And they were, all of them were just fabulously grateful. Even, Don called me back directly. I was like, and then, I talked with Kathy, but all of them were very, 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 very grateful for being recognized. It just, it's nice when people are truly touched by recognition. And so thank you to the commission, because all of you were the ones that made that recommendation in the city. And it went right through the city council and seemed like seconds, because they were totally in favor of it too. So again, wonderful.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else, Lucas?
That's it for now.
Okay, Sherry, we'll have to figure out how I sign things, so we'll make that work. Okay, thanks everybody. We're done.
Bye-bye.
Buddies, next time.
Good night.
Be safe.
Bye-bye.